What's good, everybody? This is Alex with GuitarForce.com. Today we're going to take a look at Gary Moore's That's Why I Play the Blues, which was requested and supported by William. So again, big thanks goes out to him. The tabs for download are going to be available at GuitarForce.com for a really low price. Unfortunately, no backing track for this song. I did use the original song with reduced guitars for the samples, but you can use it for a backing track really. Anyway, so this song is in standard tuning, and I'm going to show you the picture of the preset that I was using with the guitar rig, the VST plugin. And while you're checking out the picture of the preset, I'm going to play you my low E string, and if you would like to tune up and play along with this lesson, here is my low E string. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's take a listen to the intro part, then we'll come back and break it down. Let's have a listen. Alright, so before we start breaking down the licks, first I'm going to show you the chord progression which is being played throughout the song. So the intro part, we start off by playing the C minor chord for 1 bar, and then we go to F minor also for 1 bar, and we go between these two chords for a few times. Then when the first verse starts, again we're going to be using the C minor chord and the F minor chord for a few bars. Then we have a transition going to G minor chord for 1 bar and F minor. And we do it for 2 times. And then the ending of the verse is going to be A flat major 7. For 1 bar, then we go to G7 sus 4 for half a bar, and then switching for the second part of the bar to G7. So A flat major 7 for 1 bar, G7 sus 4 to G7. And then the end of the verse is going to be back to C minor and F minor for 2 times. Then we go back to the second verse, and it's again playing between C minor, F minor for a few bars, then again the G minor, F minor for 2 times. So it's exactly the same as the first one. Then we go to A flat major 7, G7 sus 4, G7. Now the second time when we play the end of the verse, we're just going to stay on C minor for 2 bars, the very end of the second verse. So instead of going to F minor, we just play C minor for 2 bars. Then after that we go to the bridge, and we have only 2 chords here, B flat major and C minor. Each chord again plays for whole bar. So you can play either here or in this position right here. Then after the bridge, we go to the end of sort of the verse. So we play the A flat major 7 and then G7. Now we play it for 3 beats. So the third one is stop. And then we go into the solo, the little solo that is being played. And the solo basically just plays over the progression of the verse. So C minor to F minor for a few bars. Then we go to G minor, F minor for 2 times. And then again we play the A flat major 7 to G7 sus 4, G7. And then we have the last the last part of the song, which is uses 4 chords, sort of the outro part. So we have C minor, and each chord we're going to be playing for 2 beats. So C minor, second part of the bar B flat major, A flat major to G7. So we play each chord, like I said, for 2 beats, half a bar each, and we play this progression for 3 times. And the third time, when we get to the G chord, instead of playing the G7, you can play just the G power chord. Okay, G power chord, and then there is the ending of the song. And basically that's the chord progression for the entire song. Alright, so the intro of the song goes like this. Alright, so here we're going to be using C minor pentatonic throughout the whole song. And the intro goes like this. We slide on the D string into the 10th fret, back to 8th. We do the same on the A string. Then we continue 6th fret on the A. Then we go on to the low E and we play 8, 6, and slide up to the 8th fret again. Then we go into the solo, and it starts off with the bend on the high E string, 13th fret, full step. We stay on this note for a whole bar. Then the next phrase goes like this. So on the B string, we start with the 13th frets, going to high E, 11 to 13 with the bend up full step. Then we release the bend quickly down to the 13th fret. Then we play 11 and onto the B string, 13th fret. Add some vibrato, and then we have. So in the end, we have high E string 11 to B string 13. Add some vibrato and then slide out. One more time. Next phrase. So here on the D string, 10th fret, go into G, 8, 10, and we go into the few bends here. So bending up, bring it down, bend up again, bring it down, and then for the third time, bend up the string and add some vibrato. And then we have, so it's a rake, so these strings are dead, and then we play on the high E string 8th fret, then onto the B 11 to 8, and then we have bend on the G string 10 frets, bend up, bring it down, pull off to 8. So one more time. Then we have the next lick. It's a quick pull off on the G string from 10 to 8, and then we pick the D string on the 10th fret 3 times. Add some vibrato in the end. Then we have, so slide on the A string into the 10th fret, then we go onto the D 8 to 10, then we have a little pause, or you can play just dead strings. And then we play part of the chord, which is the C minor chord. Here, touching very lightly the strings. And that's pretty much the intro and the solo, the first solo. Alright, so now let's take a listen to verse number 1.
Some people say, why do you play the blues? Some even ask me if I paid my dues. Tell them it's something to get me through. Every time That's why I play the
Alright, so during the first verse we don't have much going on. We have only one lick, which is so going from the 8th fret on the G string to 10th on the D string and adding some vibrato. Then after that, when we go to the G minor chord to F minor, all we do on each of the bars, when we go to the chord on the second beat of the bar, what we do is we kind of highlight the chord by simply by picking just the higher two strings, the high E and the B string. So for the G minor we have on the 3rd fret, and it's kind of staccato notes, so meaning very short, quick hit on the strings. So on every second beat, like I said, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I do is, like I said, playing just the highest strings. So for G minor on the 3rd fret, and when we go to F minor on the 1st fret. Then after that, the progression goes into A flat major 7. So what we do is on each of the beats, we again continue with this staccato technique, meaning short techniques. On each of the bar we play just a part of the chord. So for A flat major 7, looks like this, and you can get the D string if you want to, but mainly concentrating on the higher strings. So again we have. Then we go to G7 sus4, looks like this. So what we do is again we hit the chord 2 times. Then we switch to G7 again for 2 times. So again concentrating on the higher strings. Okay, in that fashion. Then after that we go back to the C minor and F minor chords for the end of the first verse, and we have a few licks going on. So the first one goes like this. So on a high E string, 13 frets, bend up, release it quickly down. Then we play 11 on the high E to 13 on the B, adding some vibrato, and then again. So again 11 on high E to 13 on B, and then pick it one more time and slide out. One more time. Next lick. So here we have bend on the G string, 10th fret, bend up, bring it down, pull off to 8 and 10 on the D string. And then the last lick in the end of the first verse. So from 10th fret, slide up to 12 on the G string. Then we play 11 on high E. 11 on B, 11 on high E to 13 on B. Adding some vibrato here, and then we have slide on the G string from 12th fret to 10 to 8. And we go into the second verse. So let's take a listen to the second verse, and then we'll come back and break it down.
people want to know if the blues is here to stay. Tell them I don't know that it's with me every day. It stops me from falling down to the ground every time you're not around. That's why
Alright, so in the second verse, lick number 1 goes like this. So on the G string we have bend on the 10th fret, full step, bring it down, pick it, and then 8th fret. Add some vibrato in the end. The next lick, so here on the G string again we have 3rd fret to the 5th, and then we go into this big bend. We have to bend it step and a half, so we have to get this note. And then it's a gradual release back to the 5th fret. Then after that, when we go to the F minor chord, we have again these staccato notes, again on the second beat of the bar, just the high E string on the 1st fret, very short. After that, next lick goes like this. So again on the G string, bend up 10th fret, bring it down, pick it, 8, then onto the D string, 2 times 10th fret, add some vibrato, and then in the end pull off to the 8th fret. Then we go again into the G minor, F minor progression for 2 times, and again we do the same thing. On the second beat of each bar, we just play staccato notes on 3rd fret of the high E and B strings, and do the same for the F minor on the 1st fret, so for 2 times. Then again we go, as we did in the first verse, we continue with A flat major 7, just like we did in the first verse. We do the same. G7, Sus4, G7, and then we have next lick in the end of the verse goes like this. So we have a bend on the B string, 11th fret, staying on this note, adding some vibrato. Then we go, so 10th fret on the G string, bend up, and then we go into the B string 8, high string 8, back to B string 11 to 8, little rest. Then we have on the G string 10 to 8, and then onto the D string 10. Then after that we go into this sort of bridge where we go play between the B flat and C minor. So right away we go into sixes. So here from the 8 frets on the G string, sliding up to the 10th, and then picking high E string on the 10th while still holding this G string. Staying on it for the whole bar. Then when we go to the C minor, lightly pick both strings, or at least high E string on the 8th fret, then repeat the lick again. So again, slide from 8 to 10 on G and picking the high E string. Then on the C minor chord we have on the 4th beat, so little lick on the G string, 10th fret, bend up, then pick the 10th fret to 8, D10, and we're back to this lick, so on the G string 8 to 10 and picking the high E. Alright, and then we have this lick, just 2 notes on the G8 to the D string 10th, adding some vibrato, and then we go into the A flat to G, right? And you can again pick the chords, although it seems like that Gary's just playing kind of muted strings, right? And then when we go to the G, you can add the chord itself, and we hit it 3 times. So the first one is the G7 suspended 4th for 2 times, and then 3rd time we have a stop and we go into the little solo. So that's the end of verse number 2, and now let's take a listen to the little solo, and then we'll come back and break it down.
Sweet
Alright, so the first phrase of the solo goes like this. Alright, so here we start off with a bend on a high E string, 13th fret, for 3 beats. Then we pick it one more time, and it's a gradual release, and then we play, which is 13, 11, 13 on a high E. Then the next part. So 11 on high E, going to B string 13, and picking it 2 times. The second time we have a bend. It's a step and a half bend and gradual release, and then we have same thing as on the high E, but we do it on the B string, 13, 11, 13, adding some vibrato, and then sliding out from the 11th fret on the high E string. So one more time, the whole phrase. Next phrase. So here we start off on the D string, 10th fret, going to G, 8 to 10, and we have here 5 bends altogether. It's an 8th note bend, so we bend up, bring it down, bend up, bring it down, in that fashion. The 5th bend is going to be a little bit longer. And then we play, so it's 11th fret on the B to high E8 fret. Then we have a quick bend and release on the G string 10th fret. Then we go to 8th fret, to D string 10, back to G string 8. And then we have on the D string 10, 8, 10. So all together. Next lick. So here we have a bend on the G string, 10th fret, B8, high E8, back to B string 11 to 8, little rest, and then we have 10 to 8 on G, 10 on D, little rest, and then grace note on the G string from 8 to 10th fret, and adding some vibrato. Then we continue with again going to F minor chord, and again kind of in the same fashion, we pick the high E and B strings at the first fret on the second beat of the bar. Then we have a little lick. So on the G string, it's a quick bend up on the 10th fret, then picking 10th fret, 8, and sliding into the 10th fret. And as we slide into the 10th fret, then we add some vibrato, and then we pick, add the 11th fret on the B string, and just hitting this double stop and sliding out like that. Then again we go to the F minor, and again we pick on the second beat this double stop on the first fret. Then we go into the familiar already A flat major 7, and we do in the same style as we did before. Then to G7 sus4, G7, and then we go into the last part of the song. So let's take a listen to it right now, and then we'll come back and break it down. Alright, so during this outro part we have, like I said, the chord progression C minor to B flat, A flat, G7. We do it for 3 times, and again we have few licks. So the first lick goes like this. High E string, 13th fret, bend up, then pick the 13th fret, bring it down. Then we have 11, to go into B string, 13, adding some vibrato, then again 11 on high E to 13 on B, and then back to high E, 11th fret, and sliding out. Then the next lick. So here we're going to be bending 2 strings at the same time, so high E and the B string at the 13th fret, so you get this sound. Bend up, then again 11 on high E going to 13 on B, a quick one, picking it one more time, and then again 11 on high E to 13 and sliding out. One more time. Next lick. So again, one more time, bend on the high E string, 13th fret, then picking it on the 13th fret, and then again 11 on high E, quick to B string, 13th fret, adding some vibrato, and then again sliding out from the 11th fret. And then in the end, the very end, when the bend stops, we have, it's kind of imitating Gary's voice, so we have a little bend on the G string, 10th fret, bending up and then bringing it down and adding some vibrato. Alright, so you can hear actually that he's fretting other strings as well while vibrating the G string. And then we have so here, just like in the intro, the same melody. So slide on the D, 10 to 8, then we do the same on A string. And here we go into sort of free time where we slow things down. So we go again 6 on A, then onto the low E string, 8 to 6. We hold on onto this note for a little longer, and then we sliding up to the 8th fret, and then playing the whole C minor chord here. And then in the end we have just the finishing touches here. So we have G string, 10th fret, bend up, 8 on B, 8 on high E, back to B string, 11th fret, and then we have quick hammer on pull off, 8, 11, 8 on the B string, 10 on G, back to B string 10, G string 10 to 8, 10 on D, 10 to 8 on G, and then we go down the blues scale, so 10 to 8 on D, and then on the A string we have 10, 9, 8, 6, 8 on low E, and we slide up to the 10th fret on the D string. And that's how we finish the song. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like this lesson, please hit the thumbs up button. Also comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, peace, and as always, let the force be with you.